Welcome to Highway Herald, your roadmap to the latest in auto. Today, we're diving into the world of electric vehicles, EVs, where GM CEO Mary Barra, a renowned EV advocate, has set an ambitious goal to transition GM to an all-electric future by 2035. However, the road to this electric future is proving to be bumpier than expected. With significant reliability issues, a lack of consumer demand, and investment delays, GM seems to be trailing in the EV race. But the race is far from over. Join us as we delve into the top 5 reasons why Mary Barra is facing her most challenging EV crisis yet. Starting with number 5, the unexpected halt of Chevy Blazer EV sales. When GM revived the Blazer nameplate a few years ago, fans were left disappointed. Instead of the rugged off-roader they had hoped for, they got a unibody crossover. Expectations were high for the all-electric version, promising top-notch performance and cutting-edge tech. However, the Blazer EV, starting at $57,000, turned out to be a nightmare. Plagued with issues, sales were halted less than 4 months post-launch. GM, prioritizing customer satisfaction, stopped deliveries. This model, along with the luxurious Cadillac Lyriq, temporarily lost the $7,500 tax credit eligibility. Owners of the new crossover are now in a quandary, awaiting a software update at local dealerships, with no clear timeline for resolution. To grasp the gravity of the situation, consider a recent Edmunds report. They purchased a new Blazer EV, and within 2 months and less than 2,000 miles, encountered 23 problems. On a single trip from LA to San Diego, everything malfunctioned. Window switches stopped working, the infotainment system went haywire, and a slew of error messages appeared. The same day, an unable to charge message popped up. Despite the car not being plugged in, a turtle symbol appeared, indicating reduced acceleration, and the one-pedal driving feature ceased to function. All this happened within 24 hours. Number 4, the infotainment conundrum. Just a few days into the Blazer EV experience, owners have reported a myriad of issues, with the infotainment system being the primary culprit. This issue isn't exclusive to the Blazer, but extends to other GM EVs, including the esteemed Cadillac Lyriq and GMC Hummer. Complaints of screens flickering and systems rebooting are rampant. The reliance on the infotainment system in EVs, far more than in traditional gas-powered vehicles, has left many owners unable to even drive their vehicles due to these glitches. The real conundrum lies in the fact that GM is yet to find a solution. Many Blazer EV owners have taken their vehicles to dealerships, only to find that the technicians are at a loss. Attempts at software updates have only exacerbated the problem. In some instances, new modules were installed, but syncing the new unit proved impossible, leaving the vehicles inoperable and languishing at dealerships for weeks. It's worth noting that other GM EVs are grappling with similar issues. While officials have stated that these problems are not safety-related, we're left questioning the validity of this claim. In addition to the glitches and reboots that Blazer owners have been dealing with, Lyriq owners have reported issues with advanced drive assist systems, features not available in a more mainstream Chevy SUV. Specifically, some Lyriq owners have reported frequent disconnects with the Super Cruise, a hands-free drive assist feature. Number 3, the charging challenge. Software glitches in EVs extend beyond infotainment systems, critically impacting the batteries. This is particularly evident with Ultium batteries, a highly anticipated technology in the North American EV sphere. On paper, the 800-volt charging architecture of these batteries promises impressive charging rates and class-leading autonomy. However, the reality is riddled with flaws. Consumers have reported numerous issues related to charging and batteries. Edmunds testers, for instance, encountered an unable to charge message and a turtle symbol indicating reduced acceleration during a short trip. This isn't an isolated incident. Many Blazer EV, Lyriq, and Hummer EV owners have faced similar problems, including issues at public charging stations, particularly at Electrify America stations, where cars have stopped charging or charged at a slow rate due to software errors. A Chevrolet dealership employee shared a peculiar case on Reddit, involving a Blazer EV returned due to multiple issues. Not only was the infotainment system and gauge cluster malfunctioning, but the charge port door was opening and closing on its own. The vehicle was parked on the lot awaiting service when the port door began its strange dance of opening and closing without any human intervention. These issues, while seemingly minor, contribute to the growing list of problems faced by GM Ultium electric car owners and deter potential buyers from considering electric cars. Number 2, GM's investment shift. The reliability issues we've discussed are part of the reason why GM is currently deferring several investments. The other part is the slower than expected sales of EVs. This isn't just a GM problem, it's a challenge that the entire automotive industry is grappling with. The so-called EV meltdown refers to the decelerated growth of the electric car market. While it's still growing, it's not at the pace automakers had anticipated. As a result, the current plan seems unsustainable, forcing car makers like GM to defer some of their significant investments. It's not just about halting the sales of models like the Blazer. The problem runs deeper. Like other car makers, Chevy is still trying to figure out how to make EVs profitable, with most of the development funds coming from the profits of internal combustion cars. Things have reached a point where companies had to slow down investments to conserve capital. We've already heard from GM officials that the production of the all-electric Silverado in Orion assembly has been delayed until the end of 2025. More recently, another delay was announced. This time, it's about the new electric drive unit that was planned to be produced at the Toledo plant. Initially slated for the first quarter of 2024, it now looks like it won't start until the end of the year. GM isn't alone in this predicament. Other companies, including their biggest rival, Ford, are facing similar challenges. The Blue Oval Company also plans to conserve capital during these challenging times, with officials already discussing a $12 billion delay in EV spending. Number 1. The call for a strategic overhaul. Considering all the factors we've discussed, it's clear that something needs to change. The rapid electrification led by politicians and followed by several major car companies now seems overly optimistic. Both automakers and consumers are facing numerous problems, from reliability issues and the EV meltdown to production challenges, all of which are preventing EVs from becoming profitable. Car makers are still trying to figure out the EV economy and how to optimize production to make EVs affordable. At the same time, the early adopter phase is over, and the masses are still reluctant to embrace electric vehicles, for reasons that are all too apparent. EVs are more expensive, less convenient, and less reliable than ICE cars. GM is significantly affected by these negative trends. Mary Barra has been overly optimistic about electrification for years, aiming to position GM as a frontrunner. Today, it's clear that the plans were somewhat unrealistic. To remind you, GM announced a plan to have a 1 million unit production capacity by the end of 2025, but the company is still far from that milestone. It will end this year with around 100,000 EVs produced, and it's unlikely we'll see a tenfold increase in the next 2 years. Even though this is still the official plan, there's no doubt that GM management recognizes the reality and is in the process of revising the plans. The electrification process will take much longer than expected, and GM is now acutely aware of that. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Don't forget to subscribe to Highway Herald to stay updated on the latest vehicle updates and upcoming videos. See you next time.